How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Angry Goose Gaming and welcome to Lessons with Angry Goose. If this is your first time visiting my channel, make sure you don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know exactly when I've got a new video up. Now, I've got another video request. This one comes from Blazing Games. He asked, can you do a video on thumbnails and what you use? I'm not going to make a habit of doing these tutorial videos just because that's not what my channel niche is. It's on gaming. But I'm going to do a video on how I'm going to make a thumbnail for my one of my upcoming Resident Evil videos. So Blazing Games, hopefully you can get something out of this, and hopefully everyone else can as well. Now, I use GIMP. It's a free program. I'm going to link it down in the description. I highly recommend it if you're looking for something free. It's very user-friendly, easy to use, and you can do basically anything that you need to in order to make thumbnails for YouTube. Now, when you have GIMP, you simply just open up a new project. You want to set your image size to 720 by 1280. That's the standard size of thumbnails for YouTube. So that's what I've got here. So I'm not going to make a new project. I'm just going to use what I have and go from there. Now, I have my thumbnails. I've kind of selected a specific style how I do my thumbnails. I do this simply, A, it speeds up my process of making thumbnails, and B, it kind of makes my thumbnails specific to me. That way, if somebody knows my channel and then sees the thumbnail, they're gonna know that it belongs to my channel. That's kind of why I do things kind of the same every thumbnail. Or the same style, but you can do really whatever you want, whatever works for you. You can do it pretty much in this. So my thumbnails, I do this style. I've got my red and white border here. I use those because it's kind of the colors of my channel. It's the colors of the Canadian flag, which is Angry Goose, which is one of our lovely animals here. So that's why I chose the red and white. To go along my border, and I always put a picture of myself doing whatever to relate to this picture. So I'm going to go through the process. First, I start off with my background picture. I'm going to just get rid of all this here for now. I start off with my background picture, which is usually a screenshot from my gameplay. I avoid using images off of Google and stuff. That way I don't end up with an exact same thumbnail as someone else. Everything stays different. I might get something that's a similar shot, but everybody plays the game differently. Nobody gets the exact same shot unless you're taken from a cutscene or something. So I do that so I avoid getting something that's the exact same as someone else. So I always have everything set up already. So it's just as simple as dropping that in, and then I adjust my part number, which is fairly simple. I just right click on the 11, add text, and I simply just change the number to the next number, and that's easy as that. Usually I'll pick a font that matches, is sort of similar to the title or whatever. If I can get the exact font or a close match or whatever, I'll use it for that. I try and as you can see here, I try and match up the color scheme and stuff of it. I just use the color picker here, the dropper, and you can pick what you have to select on it, and then you can pick whatever color you want and match. So it speeds up the process quite a bit, and I can continue the momentum and keep moving on to the next part. So how did I kind of do these things? It's not very hard. I'm going to just kind of show. First, I made a new layer, a transparency layer. I'm just going to change this back to red. And I filled that layer. And I basically just dragged it over to where I wanted. And to get that angled effect, I just used the shear tool, grabbed the corner, and kind of went with whatever I felt good, and then left it at that. And that's basically all there was to that. It's not really difficult to use this program at all. To get this white line here was fairly simple as well. You select on that layer of the red, you use your fuzzy select tool, go to select, invert, select, grow. You grow by whatever you want. Mine is 5 pixels. So when you put grow, you're going to see this line move over here. Make a new transparency layer. You can make sure that's layer selected, and then you make that whatever color you want. Now it might show on top or whatever. So you simply, when you select that layer, just drop it down a layer and it's going to show up behind. Very simple, very easy, takes no time at all. And I've got something that kind of is a start for what's unique to my thumbnails. So the next thing I do is I drop my title on for whatever game that I'm playing. Usually I pull this off of Google. I'll just do a Google search, Resident Evil Village logo or whatever. Find either a white background or a PNG that's already alphaed. If it's got a white background, it's as easy as, so if I got a white background, I know it's not all white, but for the purpose of this video, it'll work. If I got a white background that I want to get rid of, I usually just select the fuzzy tool, click on it so it's all fuzzy, right click, go to colors, colored alpha, click OK, and that's going to get rid of that, and then you can select off of it. So now that I've got my title, I simply just add my text of what part it is. I usually keep my things in a regular order. My title over here, my part here, or if I have a background that might blend this part in with the background too much, I might move that up or do something else that won't lose part of the thumbnail in the background. So everything's nice and visible and can be seen. As you try, you want everything to be seen kind of from a very small shot, as your thumbnail is going to be fairly small when it's finally on YouTube when people are seeing it. So last thing I do when I make my thumbnails, I put a image of myself. Usually I take a picture of myself behind on a green screen, and I'm going to do it a different way for this one just to show you how to do it without a green screen, because most people don't have one. A green screen is simple. You've got good lighting on it. You can simply use the fuzzy tool, select the green screen, and delete that background. It's fairly simple and quick, but I'm going to do it a different way. So I've got my picture here of what I want. I'm going to put it up, or I'm going to select it first, and I'm going to bring it up so it's above everything. I'm going to scale this down a little bit so it's kind of the size that I want it. That's going to be done there. Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, now you can do this one of two ways. You can either use the free select tool, or you can use the path tools. Both of them will have the same end result. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hit the plus button on my keyboard and zoom in, just so I can get nice and in tight. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start outside the picture, and it's gonna leave. You're gonna see these lines come up. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and then I'm gonna select all around my image. I'm gonna just go just inside of my outline of my image, so it gets a nice clean crop out of it. So I'm gonna speed this through but you can get an idea of what I'm doing. when you come to the bottom, you just come back out and you make sure that you click on your first starting point. Now when you've got everything selected, you're going to see this fuzzy line around here. You can do different methods of doing it. You can right click, edit, cut. That's going to pull you out. You can also select, invert, and where's my button here? Delete, and that's going to delete everything else. Then you can just click your wand tool and click outside the image, and you can see now I've got only what I want. But I'm going to click this mirror image, and it's going to go this way. You might run into this here where you get kind of where it didn't cut off. That's no problem, because you can also, I like to do the cut, and then I can deselect, and then you can delete that layer, new layer, and then paste. And then you've got nothing else on there. There's a couple different ways to get the same result. I'm going to actually make this a little bit smaller there. Should be good. There we go. Now I've got my image. Like I said, I use a green screen, so it's just a matter of click and delete. But that process can get you still a nice, very clean cut. So now I always outline my image with white outline to make it stand out from everything else. So it's the same thing. Use the fuzzy select, and I select my image here. Now I go up here to invert, select, and grow, and I do the same size as my line here. And then I'm going to do the same thing as well. I'm going to make a new transparency layer. I'm going to right click, edit, fill white. Now you might get something like this. Bring it down. Now I've still got all this selected here. So I'm just going to select this white background here. I can right click. I can go down to colors, color to alpha, click OK, and now we're good to go. I've got a finished thumbnail ready to go for my new video. So you can see how setting things up, it really speeds up the whole process. In the long run, I've got so much time where I can just move on to the next video, or if I've got multiple thumbnails to do, I can just, it takes no time to really get the whole process done when you take the time and set things up a reasonable way to be efficient and work for you. Now I've got another question somebody asked as well. Shadow Productions, he asked if I how I did a certain effect. He wanted to know how I had my screen as my my camera, and then switch to camera and gameplay. It's not very difficult. All of that information is in my last video that I did of how I record and edit my videos, my gaming videos. And all I really did was, if you want to use the image of your webcam or your camera, you simply just take the crop off, and you've got your image that looks like this, and you basically just recrop it to 50% as your camera and put it in the position over your gameplay. That will give you your full screen camera of yourself, and when you want to go to your gameplay in the camera, you simply just, you can either use keyframes and do it that way at that point to crop it and put it to position and size, or you can cut it like you're going to edit and then change the size at that point in the crop. So I'm not going to go too much into it. The majority of the information is in my previous video, but hopefully you can can understand what I'm talking about, shadow productions. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that you can get something out of this, improve your thumbnails, do something that works well for you, or hopefully you just found a new program that might work for you as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment. What you think? What do you think of my thumbnails? Are they looking all right? Should I change some stuff up? Let me know, and I will see you guys in the next video.